It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. Proudly brought to you by Channel. Channel seedsman placed product to perform across Nebraska. Get expert advice that yields results at channel.com. Also brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealers.
Wing to the near side, snap back. Has some time. Steps, throws down the field. The pass is intercepted. Picked off by Sierra Wright to the 30, 25, 20. Sierra down the near sideline. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Sierra Wright with a pick six for Nebraska. And the Huskers have taken the lead on the road. Tight formation, turn. Toss it off to a little end around by Barney. He's at the 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska. Jacory Barney slips in there, taking the pitch. On the end around from 10 yards out, Nebraska stretches the lead to 20-3. Gets the snap, back to throw, steps, throws, intercepted. Picked off Malcolm Hartzog at the Nebraska 43-yard line. It's his fourth career INT.
Now, alongside head coach Matt Rule, here are your hosts, Kyle Crooks and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the Nebraska Football Coaches Show presented by Channel. I'm Kyle Crooks, Jessica Coody, and head football coach Matt Rule joins us for the first time this year. I would say, I said at Big Ten Media Days that was the unofficial start of football season. I'll say this is the official start of football season. Get closer. We are exactly a week away. We'll be about 2 hours from kickoff next week on this day. But, Coach, how are you?
I'm excited. I'm
getting there.
I'm fired up to be here with you guys, and I'm excited for game week. We'll finish up tonight, kind of the end of training camp, and then wake up tomorrow, and it's what we love. It's game week.
So we were talking before. Tonight is a mock game, right? So you took your team picture today. What goes into tonight? You guys will be out on the field here in a couple hours. What does that look like here for the Huskers?
Yeah, it's not the physical work. As I told the team, it's a dry run throughout the entire day. Like, hey, be here in the morning, go through, walk through, all the different things that we do. But I think as much as anything, just making sure the substitutions are right. That we always say we want to have the best locker room, best sideline in the game. So we have to practice it. So we have a lot of guys. I love Dankey, I love Nize, I love these guys, but they've never done it with us in game day. So. We did a 2:30 game on Saturday with our scrimmage. We'll do kind of the mock-up of this game, and hopefully we can execute getting on and off the field, communicating, crowd noise. Be in the state. We haven't been in the stadium very often. Only one time this camp. That was the Big Red Preview, with the 1890. Didn't scrimmage in there, so it's a little different. So I'm excited to get out there tonight, and I think it's important for the guys to feel what it feels like to be out there at night.
Let me know the protocol. Are we allowed mean mugging for the picture? Are we smiling? What's the protocol for the team picture?
Oh, so we took the team picture earlier, and I certainly had a night. You walk by when you're in East Stadium, you see all the pictures, the team photos. Yeah. It's one of the first things we first got here. I remember he's like, we need to come over here and look at that. And you just look at the class. You going back all the teams. It's like, what? That's pretty cool that our picture's going to hopefully hang here for a long, 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 long time. And so. Yeah, they were all set up. I was the last guy to the team picture today, so I got there. They all started clapping, like, "Oh, thanks for making it, Rule." But it was fun. I think it's gonna be a good team, and I think that's a picture we'll want to remember.
Yeah, and we'll talk a lot about this team, but first things first, I want to get to the workout regimen. I know it's first thing that happens in the morning for you, right? You're walking. Are we doing any weights or anything like that? People want to know the Matt Rule workout regimen you got going on.
Yeah, so we do. There's a group of us. We do a workout called Unrequired. It's from a workout from a guy named Ben Newman, who's been working with our team, and it's body weight exercises. We do it every single day. You start off like 4-minute, 44-second, like 6-inch plank. Then you flip over your stomach, 4-minute, 44-second plank. It's about 45 minutes, and we got a whole group, and so it requires a little bit of discipline. I've never been a big workout guy, but I started with that, and then. We lift weights a couple days a week, and we rucking, like we put a 45-pound plate on our back, and we walk a little bit. So we're just trying to suffer a little bit alongside the players, and they've enjoyed, I think, seeing us in there doing our best at 50 to work out. So
are you biking too, right?
I ride so I have the bike in my office. So when I watch tape, I'll just try to get on the bike and do something to stay active. Like I said, that's not naturally the way I think, but. It's been good for me. Getting up and starting right off the day, I feel like I'm in a little bit better of a mood. I don't know. You have to ask the guys, but I'm in a better mood come practice and come the day. So, yeah, we've been trying to do a couple of things.
I see you out of practice doing push-ups. I don't know if that's something to, like, if something goes wrong, you're punishing yourself along with the players. I see the coaches running with the players. Like, if somebody does something wrong in a position group, it's not just the players run. I've seen position coaches run.
Yeah. Now, we kind of always had like an unwritten rule, like, hey, the guy's over 50. That's back when I was 35. Now that I'm 50, I'm like, the guy's over 60. But no, we don't make everyone do it. But all the young coaches, they run with the guys. And there's been a couple times, like if I say the wrong period or I say the wrong situation, I bang out 20 push-ups. I think it's just a mentality of, hey, when we're all on the field, we're all going to work, we're all going to suffer together, we're all going to be out here in the heat together. So we just I'm certainly not doing what they're doing, but I got to do a little something.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, in the spring, it was a big deal in the Husker games. Who was going to be the fastest player in the 40? Who's the fastest coach? Who would run the fastest 40 of the coaching
I'd
staff?
probably say Mike Williams. Mike Williams, obviously, he played here, and he's still in really good shape. He runs. Like a lot of the coaches, they get up and they're like, hey, maybe I'm not saying any names, but let's say they coach the secondary or the receivers. But they don't make the same times as those guys. They'll run with the next group down, to make the times. But I think Mike Williams, he still keeps up with his group pretty good. So.
I thought you were going to say Dr. Susan.
Oh, Dr. Susan's a gangster. She works out. She's lifting in there every morning. We should all work as hard as she does. Mm-hmm. She gets in the weight room. She gets after it.
She was in one of the walk and talk videos that you did, and I wanted to mention that because in this new space now, NIL, rev share, recruiting is just a different animal. It's its own beast. And we'll talk about your podcast later in the show, and that was debuted today. But all the little things that you're doing now to put yourself out there and things that you haven't done in the past, what went into creating that? Just having a bigger social media footprint for you, Coach Rule?
There's a business person here in Nebraska, really prominent. I won't say their name, but runs a prominent business. And I was at an event, and he had one of his kids there, his kid's girlfriend. And I remember talking to her, and she was like, I feel like I know you. Because my boyfriend, he always makes me watch Chasing 3 and all the docuseries we've done the last couple of years. And I was like, yeah, it's not really, I struggle with that a little bit, cameras in the locker room. And she said, well, I feel like as a result, I know what the program's based upon, because I have this inside access. And I remember she said, just remember this, Coach, I will never probably want to watch football, but I'll watch a documentary about football. Mm-hmm. And so we had a lot of people come to us this year. We had people in Hollywood come to us, hey, you guys do a behind-the-scenes show. We never did that. But some different things came up. And so what I realized was, like, we're proud of what we're doing. We think we run a first-rate program. So why not let people see behind the curtain? And at the same time, not lose our edge. And so, and also our fans are so good to us. So, like, any way that we can, tell them what's going on. I woke up the other night. I go to bed somewhat early during camp, and I woke up at 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and I had a text after midnight from a very prominent Big Ten coach that I don't have a real strong relationship with, like, personally. And he was like, hey, your videos you guys are doing are brilliant. And I thought, man, like, we're recruiting against the same people, we're competing for the same people. If he's saying that, then you know what? It must be something. So for me, we have to open the doors to everybody, but especially for recruiting, man, I have to have buzz around this program. And obviously it has to happen on the game day field. We get that. But the facilities we have, I mean, look at the facility you guys have here.
Crazy.
In a world where kids, the kids we're recruiting, they want to do commercials, they want to do podcasts, they want to do all kinds of content. It's the new TV for them. We have things that other people don't have, and so how am I going to make sure those guys know that unless we show it off to them? So it's been kind of a calculated, coordinated effort to get that done.
I think that's the number one question we've gotten over the last year in comment is about the Chasing 3 documentary. People just ate it up and want to see something like that return. So it's going to continue. You're going to have some sort of in-season content that folks can listen in or watch in a little bit. Maybe not exactly Chasing 3, but
yeah, I don't think we'll do exactly that. And Jordan Litton did that. And Jordan was a student here that we eventually hired full time, and then he and his wife they actually went to Central Florida, and she had a chance to get a job there, and he was phenomenal, and he did a great job with that. Warren Mays stayed with us. Steven Gonzalez has just recently come in. He's the one doing all this new content, and then Trey just came in from Tennessee as well. So we're building out this robust, Husker football external relations type content. Then you have Alex Rahuric and all the guys that doing Huskers, and they work so well together. So I think we'll do some things. I think it might be a different form this year. And, the one thing with Chasing 3 was we released it when we won. And we certainly plan and hope to win every game. But I think what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to just, we're going to put out content all the time. When you do a podcast and if you lose a game, you're going to take some heat for why you worried. But I mean, we have to recruit 24/7. We have to recruit 365, and we have to push this brand nationally. And so we'll do some cool stuff. It won't be the same thing, but we have some really smart guys in there. I'm not saying, hey guys, I think you should do this, because I'm not smart enough. They're coming up with great ideas, and I think it's going to be. I think we're going to be at the forefront of content across the country.
You can pick any person in the world. Who's that one walk and talk that you want to do if you had the chance to pick anybody out there?
Oh, gracious.
Maybe in football or...
That's such a good...
I could see the wheels turning.
I got a suggestion. I think you need to have your dad on as a guest.
My dad is always, he's like the more patient, kinder, nicer version of me. Like my dad was a teacher, he was a minister, he was a teacher, and he was also a coach. And I remember he used to coach at the school I went to. He'd coach like varsity girls basketball. And I remember the girls were always like, "Man, your dad's so nice. If only there was a younger version of him." And I was always like, no, but my dad would be great. But I think if I could pick a walk and talk, like I think that's a really cool question. Like I think like I would love to do like, I love super high achievers. I would love to do like Tom Brady and just really, really talk about like, what makes him tick. What I love about Tom Brady is I don't know him at all, but here he is like in the second act, right? He's not playing anymore. Here he is. He's an executive. Here he is. He's doing broadcasting. He's investing in all these businesses. I think there are just so many cool things about what he's doing. And so if it comes to football, I think it'd be something like that.
I like that. So we'll make that happen. I think you can make that happen with your connections. This team, fall camp, just overarching 30,000-foot view. I know there's a lot of people watching right now on YouTube and listening on the Husker Radio Network that just want to get the insight from you. How do you feel that fall camp has gone?
I think it's gone great. I think people, when they hear my tone, they can tell that I have high expectations for this team. When you have high expectations, you have to have high standards. And I think at every turn, the players have matched and exceeded the standard that we've laid out for them. I think we've talked a lot about a player-led team and all those things, and that can be a lot of words. They've lived it and embodied it. They've made some hard decisions. They've pushed each other. They haven't been distracted. I've enjoyed. This is like as much fun as I've ever had, and it's because of the players, because of who they are as people and the way they can handle themselves. So we have some big things that we have to overcome to be the team that we want to be. We have some steps we have to take, but I wouldn't put anything past these guys. I like the way they do things, and so if I had to summarize camp, I'd just say they worked. I mean, they worked and they didn't complain about it. Last year's team was kind of a whiny team early on, and it got better as the year went on, especially into the bowl game. That team from the bowl game, that maturity has showed up this entire offseason, and it's certainly here right now.
When you look at the first 2 years, how do you think that has equipped you now, specifically here at Nebraska? Because you know what the expectations are here. It's different. It's a different animal. Those first 2 years, the highs and the lows, how do you think that equipped you personally now to have this program take the next jump?
Yeah, if I'm being completely honest, I think my goal, I think when we look back at our first 2 years or 3 years at Temple and at Baylor, I think we always say to ourselves, man, we did our best work in year one. What we walked into, just the psyche of the team was really difficult. And, so much so that, Julie and I flew all the guys out to the bowl game this year from year one to year two. And so I think, I think the staff, the guys, people have made a lot about, hey, you hired these people. The guys that were there here year one and year two, whether they've moved on, whether they've changed roles, or they're still here, they worked their tails off. You don't just get to here. It's recruiting. No, it's not that. It's step by step putting building blocks down in terms of the way you do things, in terms of the resources you have, in terms of the investment, in terms of what you're asking of the players, the relationships. And it's been very difficult. It's been a hard 2 years, but it's been a rewarding 2 years. And so I think now, we expect to be a good team, but it's only because of, what Grant Taggy allowed us to do in year one, and Luke Reimer and Ty Robinson and all these amazing guys. Having a new coach come in is really hard, and they allowed us to come in and try to change what was happening. And, what have I learned? I've learned that, the only way to be successful at the University of Nebraska is to do what you think is right. It's what Coach Osborne says to me. It's what Coach Solich says to me. It's what Coach Darling says to me. People are so passionate. There's going to be a lot of different views. We should do it this way. We should do it that way. And if you're flapping in the wind, you're just never going to be successful. It's just too big. It's too big of a job. So you have to go out there and you have to say, you know what, man, like, I'm going to take some chances. This one might work out, this one might not, but I'm going to take chances and be bold. And I think we have been, and in ways many people haven't even seen. And but it's a great place. I mean, the people here, the university, the football program, the other sports, there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be successful. And so I see all the other sports. Now we want to do our part.
Final one before we head to our first break here on the Nebraska Football Coaches Show with Matt Rule. But I talked to Dylan Raiola at Big Ten Media Days, and I was just incredibly impressed. You think of the weight of, you could think of it this way. I don't necessarily know if he does, but he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. A lot of quarterbacks do at big-time programs. And being such a young guy, the way that he's able to take it all in stride, be a leader, to me, just his temperament every single day. Do you see that from him, his leadership, and what's his growth been like in year 2?
His growth's been amazing. His leadership capacity is amazing. His ability to withstand the pressure and the strain of everyday life and the expectations are amazing at his age. Like, I think back to like when I was his age, I was nowhere near the perspective that he has. And, it's really hard. Like, you go out there, when you go out there and you're the man in the arena, like, when things go well, great. When things don't go well, like, you're going to hear about it. And so at that age, to still be willing to take chances, and I always think about it like, what keeps these young people from being what they can? It's just the fear of failure. It's the fear of not coming through, the fear of what people are going to say when you're not successful. And, love conquers fear. It's written all throughout the Bible. And so it's written all throughout the world. And so I think Dylan loves his teammates. He loves the University of Nebraska. He loves playing football. And I'm always impressed with him. He motivates me. Like, he doesn't go out there with a spirit of worry, of anxiety, of nervousness. He goes out there with a conquering spirit because he loves this. And, I think when you're the head coach, the quarterback's your partner, and I can't think of a better partner to have than Dylan.
Yeah, super impressive. You can text in as well your questions, 402-413-2400. We will get to your podcast. We'll play a snippet from your podcast. I want to get your thoughts on the SEC announcing today 9 conference games for them and how maybe that changes things in terms of the landscape of college football. So still plenty to do. Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Nebraska Football Coaches Show continues after this on the Huskers Radio Network.
Another great harvest thanks to Pioneer brand corn.
Just a few questions.
Who are you?
Kim Colonel, Ag Sports News. I've been chasing your combine for a while. How does it feel getting 10 more bushels per acre over last season?
It feels great. Couldn't have done it without Pioneer. It's America's #1 corn brand.
And there you have it, folks. Live from the field.
Who are you talking to?
Pioneer. Your best year starts here. Learn more at pioneer.com/bestyet.
This life we love has never been easy. We've been blessed with million-dollar rains, and we've watched hope dry up. Still, we press on because our purpose is greater. Central Valley Ag prepares the table alongside our farmers, not just to grow food, but to nourish our families and our communities. At this table, everyone's welcome. Join us. We're saving you a seat. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Dory Milberger or Darren Frazier in Omaha or agent Terry Dingwell in Fremont.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Turn up the heat during the Honda Summer Event at Woodhouse Honda. Drive off in style with limited time offers happening now. Lease the 2026 Honda Civic two-wheel drive Sport for $299 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Shop in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousehonda.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, security deposit waived, $24.99 due at signing, plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GH260025. Offer expires 8/31/2025. See dealer for details.
Propane is a clean, reliable energy source for your home, farm, or business inside and out. And now when you lock in your propane for the next year, you can register to win 2 tickets to the College World Series. Visit CVACoop.com or contact your CVA Energy lead today. Because our planet is hungry, together we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Speaking of College World Series, we're here with Coach Matt Rule. Coach, you were at the World Series this past year, right?
I was.
What was that experience like in Omaha?
I think it's awesome. I mean, first of all, I love watching the best of the best compete and do what they do. I'm not a huge baseball guy. I certainly root for the Huskers and Coach Bolt, and you go to games here and watch them on TV when they were in the Big Ten series. But yeah, I like going out there. I like meeting all the fans. Obviously there was a huge LSU contingent. There was a huge Coastal Carolina contingent, and I love the fact that we're able to show off to everybody across the country how cool Omaha is, how cool Nebraska is. So I think it's one of the iconic weeks here.
You can text a question for Coach 402-413-2400. Kyle Crooks, Jessica Coody, and Matt Rule here on the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. All right, Coach, we teased it going into break, but the SEC announcing probably an hour before we came on the air that they're going to add a 9th conference game this year. You would assume maybe that finally pushes that college football playoff expansion conversation. Just your overall thoughts on that news coming out of the SEC today.
I think it's great. Kudos to the SEC. I mean, if we're going to compare people across conferences, then I think we should all be playing by the same rules, the same standard. I mean, when I was in the Big 12, we played 9 conference games. I come to the Big 10, we played 9 conference games. If you could, in any Power 4 league, if you could take out one of your conference teams and put in an FCS or a group of 5 team, you're probably gonna have a better schedule. 6-6 becomes 7-5, 9-3 becomes 10-2, and vice versa. So the SEC is a great league, great teams, great competition. This lends to one more game of great football on TV, and I think once we all get to the same place where we're all playing the same conference games, I think you'll see more interconference, battles. You'll see SEC playing the Big Ten. I think ACC probably now that the SEC's done that, maybe they'll go to 9 games, and I think it'll just lead to more, based upon how the playoff falls in, it'll lead to more big games in the offseason. If you're playing 9 Power 4 opponents and someone else is playing 8, it's hard to pick up a 10th.
Right.
And so I think this evens the playing field.
So you see it directly affecting Nebraska here in the future. You would assume, scheduling-wise, in terms of maybe more out-of-conference SEC, Big Ten. Is that a safe assumption to make?
I think we have a ton of them already. I mean, we've got obviously the Tennessee went away, but we've got Oklahoma. We've got we're kind of booked out, and so I think it'll be more of a conference-wide thing. I think if the Big Ten decides, hey, we're all going to play the SEC every year, or if something like that happens. a lot will come down to how they stack the playoff. How strength of schedule will resonate. I mean, there's a lot of things that Troy Dannon deals with that I don't deal with in terms of that resonating. But when you look at our schedule, we have a Power 4 opponent. We have an SEC opponent. We have some pretty staunchy opponents out of conference moving in the coming years, and so it's a time of tremendous change and flux in college athletics. And I think a lot of us are trying to make decisions without knowing everything. And so when we have clarity like this, when the SEC made this decision, I think it provides a little clarity, which maybe can affect the decisions we make. Yeah, and you look at the health of college football as a whole, but the Big Ten Conference, you feel like this is the deepest it's been in quite some time. Everyone's talking about those top three, the premier programs at the top, and Nebraska is trying to get there. But that second tier, you feel like you rattle off so many different teams in terms of the quality of opponents now that you're going to play in this league. It's just a relentless schedule every single week when you put that game plan together. I think for a long time in the Big Ten, the last 8 years, you're talking about Ohio State and Michigan, Penn State. Now you add in Washington plays for the national championship, they come in. USC's a blue blood, they come in. Oregon makes an unbelievable run over the last 15 years. So you just add to the strength, and then other teams. Indiana has a jump. We know what we're certainly working towards, and so. It's difficult. You look at college sports. You look at the FCS playoff. The teams that dominate are the teams in Montana, the Dakotas. Mm-hmm. Weather is a factor in the playoffs because they play at home and there's large playoffs. You look at the NFL. The Patriots dominated. Obviously, Foxborough is a cold place. The Chiefs, they're playing Miami in the playoffs 2 years ago. It's minus 18 degrees. Weather is a factor in all of football except in FBS Division I because we vote on it and then we go down. We play the games in warm weather spots, or we play them in domes. And so, this move to the playoffs, whatever the playoffs is moving forward, I think weather and home games are going to be a factor. And so, we're excited about that. We got to get ourselves into the tournament. We have to get ourselves into the college football playoff, and then imagine what it'll be like to host a game here at Memorial Stadium. It'll be epic, and our fans will show up, and the weather will be a factor. And but we're the only football league that doesn't have weather being a factor in the postseason, and so I think that's something that I hope changes because I think that's what football really is. Mm-hmm. Transitioning here to Jess, you had some question?
I was just gonna say we got a couple of texts coming in for you. No name here, but wants to know what position group are you most excited to see heading into this first game?
Oh, well, certainly all of them. I mean, certainly all of them. All the guys work really hard. I think we have a young group on the D line. Obviously we graduated. MJ Sherman. We graduated. Ty and Nash. So anxious to see these guys who've waited their turn get their shot. I think that group's going to grow as the year moves on. I think they're going to get better and better and better every week. So anxious to get that first game under their belt so they can begin that process of learning and developing.
And a little bit more on that note, Mike wants to know if you had to pick just one, what is the most improved group this offseason? During this fall camp?
I think the offensive line's coming into their own. Well, if you said off season, then I wouldn't. But I thought in the spring, the O-line looked like it was one of our better groups, and I think we certainly have done a nice job of those guys eating, lifting, developing, getting better, adding the right people, the young guys coming up, and so the offensive line is a group that I'm proud of. This camp, I think everyone's gotten better though. Overall, I look at this roster, and there's some guys that maybe were underdogs in their career. I look at a Marquez Watson-Trent, who is coming from Georgia Southern. You look at him from a size perspective, not as big as other guys in the field, but just makes plays. The group of FCS transfers that I think they come into this role having something to prove, right? Do you feel like you have you told the story of Jalen George at East Tennessee eating in the cafeteria for their pregame meal. There's a lot of hunger in some of these guys that you brought in because I feel like there's a lot of people in this too deep, including the returners, that have a lot to prove. Yeah. I think the thing that we've tried to do is be very intentional about getting to know each person, what makes them tick. I mean, it can be Will, one area who was a 5-star plus, whatever he was last year. It can be Mar, who just dominated at the Georgia Southern and now wants to play at this level. Either way, I think it's really about each man and who they are, and I think you used a great word, hunger. who wants to be better, who wants to be great. I said to the team today, if you play football for what you get, you're never going to really be satisfied. You're never going to be real happy. If you're hungry to be great and you are playing it because you love the game and you love to play and you want to be the best, then you'll have a ton of fun. And guess what? You'll probably get a lot of things too. And so finding the guys who just tick like that, the guys who are like that, look at each one of us as coaches. We all do this because we love the game. And so we need to be around players who also love the game.
We'll take a look at a snippet of the debut episode today of House Rules as well. So
I don't know if I can sit here for that.
I watched the whole hour, Coach.
I don't know if I can sit here and watch that.
Well, you might have to. We're going to make you sit through it. But
it was orders by Hoots to promote this.
Okay,
all
right.
Hoots' orders.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So that's coming up, plus much more. We'll be here till the top of the hour here with Coach Rule inside the Akrs Broadcast Center. Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. The Nebraska Football Coaches Show presented by Channel. As a farmer, challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. More with the coach next here on the Nebraska Football Coaches Show.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker black shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Woodhouse Hyundai makes it simple to shop for your next vehicle. Receive 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Hyundai Palisade. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com or woodhouseplacehyundai.com today. With approved credit, tax title, license extra. Must finance with Hyundai Motor Finance, $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/1/25. See dealer for details.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See shelter agent Sharon Lear in Papillion, Paul Hoos in Grand Island, or an Ord Sea agent Matt Woodward.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, bulk gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. And it is time for this week's Alumni Hall, Alumni Husker of the Week. And we got a special one for you, Coach.
Snap back. Armstrong looking, holding, throws out the flat pass, caught by Amir, trying to avoid the rush. He does. He has a first down, bouncing off tacklers to the 45, Amir to the 40, Amir to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Amir Abdullah. What an amazing catch and run by the All-American running back with 20 seconds to go.
Matt Rule is a huge fan of yours. How big of a fan are you of Matt Rule?
Man, big fan of him. When I was with him in Carolina, he welcomed me into his house, cooked dinner for me, would do anything for me, rolled out the red carpet, and I'm sure he's doing the same for these guys. He's a straight shooter. He really wants to see the best for everybody, and I think he does a good job of getting the best out of guys, too, and that's what you want from a leader of a program.
Amir Abdullah. Julie was a big fan of Amir, right?
Yeah, Amir's awesome. Remember Christmas, you're the head coach. Positions in the NFL, they all buy each other all kinds of stuff for Christmas. The head coach doesn't get anything. And Amir gave me a book, and the name escapes me right now, which is embarrassing because it's a great book. It's at my house. But he inscribed it, and because that's kind of the thing I like. And so I loved him. It's been great to see him coming back, the things he's doing on the field and off the field. And then he comes back here, he does camps, pours into the young people. I just think he's a special guy.
Seems like he and Emmett have developed quite a special relationship, too.
They have. And, it's so great to have Ron Brown on the staff because obviously he's such a great conduit to these guys from the past. But Emmett's had an amazing offseason, a great fall camp. And, he's got the same character and same mental toughness and stuff that Amir has. I'm going to say one other thing. Can I say one other thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's you said that was the Alumni Hall?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys, Kyle, you weren't here. There was a huge storm, and I was down. We stayed at my loft downtown. I have a little apartment downtown from working late, and my daughter and I were there. And we had the 2 dogs, and the dog. Well, we have 2 huge dogs. You've seen them, like 150 pounds, 120 pounds, and then we have a little Jack Russell Mini. And so Leona, she was like, "We have to go to work." So we came in the snowstorm, and we didn't have a leash. So we had because something happened to the leash. So we had the 2 dogs on the leash, the big dogs, and she's holding Eddie, the little Jack Russell Mini. And so I'm like, go in there and see if they have literally it's snow, you can't see. I said, go in there and see if they have a leash in there. And she went in there, and they didn't know who she was. They didn't know Coach Rule's daughter. So she went to buy the leash. I gave her like $20 to go, and they gave her the leash. They said, here you go, little girl. You shouldn't be out here walking around without. So, Alumni Hall, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. All right, so we mentioned it. You're wearing many hats these days, including being a podcast star.
It's coming for our jobs, Jess.
Yeah, the first episode of House Rules dropped today. In case you missed it, we've got a little bit of a sneak preview to play for you here tonight.
Yeah, there's some mornings, man, when I get up and I'm like, I'll put on like David Goggins. I'll put on Jocko Willink. I'll put on these motivational guys, right? And they're not sitting on their couch just saying, "Hey guys, take a recovery today and feel good about yourself." And that's how you be great. They're running 200 miles. They're talking about extreme ownership. Somewhere along the way, we started thinking that hard work was punishment. Somewhere along the way, we started saying, sometimes, injured guys here for us to practice. Go all the way back to Temple, man. No one just sits around and watches. We go over, we're going to get a workout in. And I tell our guys all the time, man, there's people paying $69.99 to go down to the local, what do you call it, CrossFit? Go to the CrossFit thing and do the same things you guys are doing. Let's not be embarrassed or scared to work hard. The only way you can win on North Broad Street at Temple, the only way you can win coming out here to Lincoln, playing in the Big Ten, I got to go to Penn State, I got to go to UCLA, we got to fly all over the country, is to get a bunch of dudes like the guys you mentioned, Deion Dawkins, Tyler Matakevich. Both guys went to prep school and had no scholarships. No scholarships. And guess what? they're now Deion's 42nd in the NFL in terms of best players in the league, and that's not me. That's just the work that they put in. And so, man, we want to celebrate work. And I tell you, I love watching those guys as they move on and they dominate. And you like our guys here because this is a cold place in the winter. There's wind blowing. We go outside. We practice the old school way. And you know what? We're getting better and better and better. We'll see how good we are this year, though.
Do you like your first episode dropped today?
You ever see, like, sometimes they'll say, like, someone makes a movie and they can't watch the movie. Like, it's really hard to watch yourself do that. So, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I mean, I'm happy with what we did. I love doing the part with Javen. I love to expose, John Gordon. I love being able to talk about Nebraska football and getting messages from people all over the country. I think that's why we're doing it. We want to expose what we have here to really the entire nation, not just on game days, but 365 days a year. So, but yeah, watching yourself can always be a little bit odd.
So it's at House Rules, by the way,
Yeah.
and first episode is out now. So all the social channels, it's all the same. So House Rules, RHULES. So there you go. If you want to check it out, it is out now every Thursdays, right?
Yep, and we're gonna work hard to get it out every Thursday. And part of this job, obviously, I do a lot of media already, so we just kind of found a rhythm where we could get this done and try to do it at a high level and represent the program the right way.
Got some great guests lined up too, right?
Yeah, we I think the one thing is we have obviously a great connections from obviously from the University of Nebraska and just all of our experiences. So hopefully we can put content out that's interesting to football fans.
I love it. And I think of the word gratitude when I heard you speak there, and I think of two guys, and there's more that probably would pop up, but a guy like Teddy Prohaska, who's gone through a lot, Javen, you mentioned, who's on that first episode of the podcast, who just love football, who just want to keep coming back because they want to be a part of that team. They want to be a part of that culture. Those two guys, and I'm sure you could think of a few more that I'm not saying right now, but what do those two guys mean? Because they just keep coming back and they want to keep fighting through what's been in their way.
We have a tendency nowadays to talk about like this generation of young people or the world that we're in right now with revenue sharing and NIL, and we tell these stories about this guy and that guy, and there's so many good stories everywhere, and there's so many young people that are doing things the right way for the right reasons, giving of themselves. And we have we have 7 rules of professionalism, 7 standards of professionalism we talk to the guys about, and the last one, the 7th one is always leave a place better than you found it. And when Javen leaves here and when Teddy leaves here, they will most certainly have left this place better than they found it. Isaac Gifford, Ty Robinson, the guys the previous years, they certainly did that. But these are giving people who love their teammates, and most importantly, they love the University of Nebraska. They're not here because we were the highest bidder. They didn't leverage me like, hey, I'll stay if. They said, hey, how can I make this the program that I know it should be and I want it to be? And so I'm grateful to them. I'm only able to be in this job because of the players that have played for me before and who play for us now, and those are 2 great ones.
Culture setting. You use the example of Javen Wright when he's going through everything. Every time he walks in the locker room, you see that big smile. No matter what's happening, to me that sets the culture right there. That's tangible evidence of one guy who can help set an entire culture.
Yeah, you said the word gratitude. It's like, it's so easy to say, well, why do I have to do this and why do I have to do that? Because we're thinking about it from a me perspective. When you start thinking of it from an us perspective, from a we perspective, everything changes. And what you need is your best players to have that perspective. I can preach it all day. The coaches can preach it all day. But when your best players, both talent and production, when they live a life of we, when they live a life of others, when they live a life of gratitude, then it can become contagious. And then the young people you bring in, they might be highly recruited. They might be getting a lot of rev share and they might be high names. But if they walk into a culture where everyone's grateful, everyone cares about each other, there's a brotherhood and a sisterhood that they can feel, then it can change everything.
Great stuff. One more segment coming up with Coach before we let him get out of here on the Nebraska Football Coaches Show. In football and retirement, strategy wins. Stonebridge Wealth System Retirement Compass could be your winning strategy. Holistic planning with integrity for your future. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. We wrap it up with Coach after this on the Huskers Radio Network.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Jeff Brandt in Hastings, Kelly Schilke in Imperial, or Rick Missioner in Beatrice.
Step into a new era of luxury at Infinity of Omaha. Browse our inventory and enjoy special financing and limited time offers happening now. Receive 0% APR for 60 months or $6,000 in summer bonus cash on all 2025 Infinity QX60 inventory. Visit our showroom or shop online today at infinityofomaha.com with approved credit. Tax, title, license extra. When financed with Infinity Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. VIN number SC359090. Offer expires 9/2/2025. See dealer for details.
As a farmer, challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel Seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Nebraska Football Coaches Show here with Matt Rule tonight. We'll take you up here. Final 9 minutes or so here of the first Coaches Show of the year. All right, Coach, we're getting closer. We have the mock game tonight about an hour from now. You guys will go through what a game day routine looks like, but Let me ask you, what do these next few days look like as now you get set to work in game prep as Cincinnati's on the horizon?
Yeah, so we'll start tomorrow morning, install the game plan for Cincinnati. We've obviously been working on it all summer, worked on it this week, now that we have a little better feel for who we are and what we do well. So we'll install tomorrow, get the guys out of here about 2:30. We'll give them all Saturday off. I'll give the coaches Saturday off. I think it's the first day of college football. It's week 0. There's some good games. I always try to make a cut up of the games and show the guys like, hey, see these mistakes in the kicking game, see these mistakes in the turnovers, so just make sure we see what early football looks like. And then we'll practice Sunday night, which will be like a Tuesday practice, Monday night, which will be like a Wednesday, and obviously Tuesday, which will be like a Thursday. We'll practice in the evenings. We'll get under the lights, which is not something we can really do during the season, but we'll do it this week. And the guys start school on Monday, so they'll have Monday morning to kind of handle their classes and come back over Monday night. So it's game week, and then we'll head to Kansas City on Wednesday.
How long do you think it takes for the tackling to be where it's supposed to be? Because you can't hit as much, you only have a certain number of padded practices, you only have a couple scrimmages. Does it take a couple weeks in the regular season until you say, okay, we're where we have to be?
Yeah, I think you look at really college and really even pro football. We look at college football over the last 10 years. Tackling is never great when you watch it. And certainly it gets better as the year goes on as you have more reps and live reps. But it's a real area where you can probably find yourself an advantage if you can tackle well and if you can elude tackles. So I mean we've tried to work on it to the best of our ability, and we still have a few more days. But yeah, I think you'll see every team get a little bit better. As Coach Paterno used to always say, I'm sure Coach Osborne said something very similar. The most improvement you make is from week 1 to week 2. So this week 0 mock game, we're hoping to make progress from week 0 to week 1 and be at our best next Thursday.
You sense the guys are eager to hit somebody else. I would assume towards the end of fall camp you get a little bit more pushing and shoving because you're breeding that competitiveness. These guys have to get tough. They have to be ready to withstand a full Big Ten season, but you also want to build that chemistry. It's a tough little balance you have here before the season starts.
Yeah, the challenge in this past week was, for the whole guys this week that we're in, was, it's 4 weeks in. Do not get better. Attack this week. I've been pleased. There was one day, Monday, I wasn't super thrilled about, but the other days have been great. And, they're ready to play someone else. I'm sure Cincinnati's ready to play someone else. I mean, how often can literally, like, we know each other's snap counts. We know the offensive calls, the defensive calls, everyone, they've played each other too much. And so getting out there and playing another team, playing a game, to me, it's the best assessment we can have.
I've been asked this question. They asked me, Kyle, how's special teams looking this year? So let me ask you. Coach Eckler used the phrase "fart in a skillet" at one point in his press conferences. How do you see his ideology? What his stamp of what that looks like? How has he put his impression on special teams here?
Yeah, well, I mean, Eck's a very, very positive guy, right? He's a man of affirmations. Like I'm kind of a, hey, let's work at it and let's see what happens. He's more of a, hey, we're going to make it happen, and it's good for me to have people like that around me. He'll say, how you doing? I say, I'm doing well. I'm doing good. And he'll say, no, great. I'm like, I'm not saying I'm great. So he's a great balance to me. And so I think he spoke a lot of positivity into that group. I think he has high expectations for his group. I think he expects them to play really hard and passionate. And, there's a lot of pieces that go into the kicking game. Obviously, your kicker, your punter, your snapper, your holder. But then it's the guys covering and all the things that happen out there. And so we're still a really young team. We're playing a lot of young players. But I think they'll take on his personality to some degree, and they'll play with a lot of passion.
And final one for me, but John Butler, you said, Jess, he takes 25,000 steps.
That's what he told me.
25,000 steps a day.
a day.
I can see that. How many steps you got in a day? You keeping track? You wear a Fitbit or anything like that?
No, Wish and I do everything. Wish is he's always over 30,000 every night. So he runs like 5 miles every morning. So I'm probably in the 20s.
20,000?
Yeah, I'm probably around 20,000. That's typically, those guys are doing more coaching at practice. I'm doing more observing. I love the way John coaches. He coaches like a basketball coach. Like he's up and down. Like he's always moving. He's yelling and shouting instructions. It took me off guard at first until I realized, he was an all Catholic League basketball player back in Philly. He played basketball and football in college at Catholic University, but he's like a basketball coach out there.
Is he going to have a get-back guy?
Oh, yeah. He definitely has to have a get-back. Him and Dana both. Like, they literally call the game from the side, from the numbers if they could. So, Wish and Corey, they follow me around. They better worry about those guys. I'll be the calmest one on the sidelines this year.
The most energetic group of assistant coaches or coordinators in the country.
That's right. They're
right
pretty
there.
close. Yeah, that's right.
Well, Coach.
I got one more quick one for you because we got about a minute left. We had a text on the text line. If you could describe this team in one word right now, what would it be?
I'd say gritty. I think that they're a tough group and they're a resilient group and they don't complain a lot and they show up to work every day.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. We look forward to the first game. Boy, it's taken a while to get to this point. I'm sure you feel like it's taken even longer, but we're getting set. It's as Bill Belichick would say, it's on to Cincinnati. So we look forward to. I'll be chatting with you next week for our pregame radio interview, our first one, and we want to thank you for hopping in for this full hour here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you both.
All right. Huskers head coach Matt Rule here on our first coaches show of the year. We'll have a rotating guest of assistants as well throughout the season. We'll have Coach Rule a handful of times, so we appreciate him hopping in. The entire football crew here up helping set this up. Big thanks to Jessica Coody as well. We still have an hour to go here of Sports Nightly. We'll continue to touch on some of the topics around the night of sports. So keep it here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, the Nebraska women's golf schedule was released. They begin their season at the Sam Golden Invitational on September 8th. Their season doesn't come to a close until the Big Ten Championship in late April. They do take a couple of months off during the winter. In other Husker news, Nebraska volleyball begins their season at the AVCA Classic against Pitt at Pinnacle Bank Arena tomorrow. First service at 6 with pregame coverage on the HRN beginning at 5. And in just a few minutes, the Nebraska soccer squad is back in action at Oklahoma State. Kickoff is set for 7:05, and the match can be watched on ESPN+. And finally, big news out of the SEC for football as they've elected to play a 9-game conference schedule starting next season. Each school will play 3 annual opponents, and the remaining 6 games will rotate between the rest of the league's opponents. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
The Siege behind the screen, dances around, has he moved, pump fake, out it comes to Jacobson, puts it up and in! Holy smokes! Way to go, Kale! Kale Jacobson from Ashland, Nebraska. Into the starting lineup 3 games ago, hits a huge, humongous, gigundous 3.
Runs and deals. Ball swings and lets the fly ball to left. Cullivan going back to the wall, and it's gone! Home run, Jordy Bull! A towering drive to left field by Jordy Bull, and that ties the school record for home runs in a season by a Husker. Allie Viola, you've got company. It's the best player in college softball with her 3rd home run of the weekend, Jordy Bull.
Bump set left. Almodovar's in the front row. She tips it. Doug. Huskers own it. Set left. Harper again. Over dig and out. Point Harper Murray in the big red. She's carrying them. That's 18 kills for Harper. It's 25-24 Nebraska.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly, our final hour of the week, because this time tomorrow night
Makes me sad.
we have volleyball on
Yes,
the
but
air.
we won't get to talk together
That's
on
all
the
right.
radio, so
We've
that's what makes
talked
me
enough
sad.
this week. It is time for some volleyball action inside Pinnacle Bank Arena, and a big one. Pitt, Nebraska, let's go.
That makes me excited, though.
Yeah, they had practice out there today, media availability, and again, as a reminder, I mean, I think, I've been asked about this, but it's not really other than the crowd, which absolutely will factor in. But in terms of having experience over at Pinnacle Bank Arena, most of these players have not played at PBA, and so they got their first taste of it today. I talked to Andy Jackson after practice today, and they're excited about it. She actually mentioned the big screen, how big it is right there in the middle, that will play a factor, and it, just how the depth perception, you got to make adjustments to all of it, but they had a good practice today, and I know that they're going to be excited to roll.
I'm excited about the environment in there, so I'll walk down there and I'll hopefully be around there for tomorrow's match, but it's going to be a unique atmosphere, and it's a unique a way to open the season. I think more matchups that you get like this in a lot of sports continues to drum up the coverage and the excitement for it, and I think this is the most, you could answer this better than I could, but when's the last time that you had this much excitement, anticipation, expectation for a Nebraska volleyball team? Preseason number 1. Of course, there's been a lot of years that there's been anticipation because this is one of the greatest volleyball programs in the country, but this is just a different level, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, every year with Nebraska, because they're every year expected to be a title contender, but I think maybe with being the number 1 team and playing Pitt out of the gate, and again, this is a team that doesn't shy away from playing the best of the best in the non-conference because, hey, you got to get prepared to play in the Big Ten. I mean, Coach Cook has said this time and time again that a lot of times it's harder to win a Big Ten title than it is the national title. It's just you got to go through the Big Ten to be able to even remotely consider yourself in the conversation for a national title. So they never shied away from scheduling hard, but the fact that it's at PBA, first time playing at PBA, so it's going to be a bigger crowd than usual, and just the teams that are here, the caliber of teams opening up with 3 and 6, and Penn State will be there. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hyped-up weekend for sure.
Do you think that there could be a possibility that we see some changes in the starting lineup from the alumni match, or do you feel that what we saw this past Saturday is probably what we're going to get? Now, you're around them a little bit more, doing interviews. There's a few more practices that take place before that they get a chance to start the season. Do you anticipate maybe some changes?
I don't know about that. I think you'll see Laney Choboy, and again, this is just my guesstimation. I think Laney will be the starting libero. I think Bergen was the starting setter. And obviously Harper Murray is Harper Murray, and you're going to see both Andy Jackson and Rebecca Alec be absolutely vital, and they're going to set the middles. I told you about STMs. They're gonna STM this year, that's for sure, with Andy Jackson and Rebecca Alec. I think Olivia Malk will still be coming in, even if she's not the libero. She'll play a big role as a defensive specialist and maybe a serve specialist. And so, I think that for me, what will be intriguing is to see the right side and the other outside playing next to Harper. So, you've got some talent there, and how does that rotation work? If somebody doesn't have it going in the first set, do they make adjustments? I think that's what I'm really fascinated to see is just from set to set, and even from the first game tomorrow night to Sunday, what kind of adjustments they'll make, and how quickly they might, if someone is having a little bit of an off night, how quickly they'll make some substitutions and try somebody else. Because look, they have the talent, they've shown it. So I think that's still maybe the positions that could change, and not even just from game to game, but set to set and match to match. Just I think you might see some rotation quite a bit at the outside next to other than Harper, and then the right side hitter.
I wonder how much the freshmen will have an impact in that first match, right? Because you have the veterans that are there, but we watched Kenna Cogill have an incredible alumni match. I would assume that some of the freshmen might have an opportunity to get a pretty big role opening weekend, but you wonder what's going through their mind, right? They're going to be in an arena that's 15,000.
Yeah, and Andy actually pointed that out too. Just that I think they're a little nervous. I mean, how could you not be? And even if it was inside Devaney, I think they'd probably be just the first time they had the spring, but it's just it's a different kind of feel when you're going into a season when it starts to count and you're playing Pitt, number 3, on the other side of the net. And, just your first time in front of, almost double what you get at Devaney that they have seen. So, but as we talked to, as I had Lindsey Peterson on with the Dig and had some conversations throughout this week, this type of atmosphere and arena with the big openness, the amount of people inside the arena, that's the kind of venue that if this team wants to win a national title, they've got to have success in. And so I think getting a little bit of a taste of it last year, they opened up in Louisville at where the Yum Center, where they actually had the Final Four, so they got to experience there. But just having this kind of open, big arena, and it's set up a lot like what the NCAA likes to do when they get to the postseason. So it's a good experience for them to be able to have here out of the gate. And
it's fair play. Like, Nebraska doesn't get any more time on the court than the other 3 teams in this event. So that's unique in itself. They'll have the opportunity to have the bulk of the fans. It's going to be a home court advantage. But their idea to the depth perception, like, they're going through some of the same things in dealing with playing in this environment as opposed to the other 3 teams, which is interesting.
Yeah, the court is always, when you're adjusting to the new court, the signage that's everywhere, right? That is just different. The big screen is different. How close fans are or far away, and when you're looking up to pass, the lights in the arena, that's all different, and that's all an adjustment that all the teams will have to make. The big factor for Nebraska is that it is going to be packed with Husker fans, and so we heard Danny Buscombe-Kelly saying that last night. We heard, again, assistant coaches talking about that, is that they're going to need Husker Nation behind them, and that's the biggest difference of a factor that for Nebraska going into this, but really the only one, because in terms of the court and everything else and the arena, outside of watching basketball games in there, which this team, they're big supporters of both basketball teams. So they've been in there, they're familiar with the arena, but in terms of playing in it, it's going to be the exact same as the other teams that are playing. When I walked in there today, Pitt was in there warming up. So it's the exact same. Everybody's getting the fair share in terms of how they're filling out PBA. So
I was driving today, and as soon as I left my apartment area, I saw on the window at the Mill, which is one of my favorite coffee spots here locally, Harper Murray was up there. So that was cool. I looked to my left, and she's, of course, signed with Adidas, and I was talking to somebody with Adidas. It's one of their icon athletes, Dylan Raiola, very similar, but she had a couple pictures on outside the Mill, so that was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, she's a superstar, and I know we talked about the captains last night, and I know some questions have been asked. Why isn't she a captain? I think for Harper, she knows the role that she has, and I think that speaks to just her overall evolution as a player, as an athlete, as a woman, and I think she knows the impact that she has, both as a player on the court and, I mean, the way that she's put her arm around these freshmen and welcomed them in and the newcomers. I mean, even though she didn't have the seat, she's a leader of this team and has balanced very well her stardom off the court and being an Instagram and TikTok and social media influencer, I guess, if you will, but also being one of the best in the game. And she's hungry as can be. I just hear so many things about how much time she spent in the gym, and she is as determined as ever. She wants to be the best of the best, and there's a lot of players that are wired this way on the squad, but she's balanced it so well. And I could not imagine, like, I have a hard time balancing my life as is. Like, I could not imagine balancing the way that she has, being in the spotlight, everything that she's been through, being one of the best players in her sport, but then also managing this huge following that is interested in her every single day and what she's posting. But she's done it tremendously, and I just, Lindsay and I talked about it on the Dig this week, just how she has, really embraced the platform that she has and wanting to help people along the way. But hey, she's pretty dang good volleyball player on top of that.
Just because you're not a captain doesn't mean you're not a leader.
Exactly.
Just because in the football sense you didn't get a single digit doesn't mean you're not a leader. There's only a certain amount of captain spots. There's only a certain amount of single numbers. So I don't think Harper Murray now all of a sudden takes a back seat because she's not wearing the captain's C. You have every right to be a leader, and she is that, and they expect that from her. To win a national championship, you need Harper Murray to be at her best as a player and as a leader. And I think that's the expectation coming in. You talk about, man, the size of the weight on these athletes' shoulders. You're part of advertising campaigns now and things that you wouldn't even imagine for college athletes. And with that comes a lot of pressure. You could say, we talked with Coach Rule about the pressure on the shoulders of Dylan Raiola. I think it's very similar to Harper Murray because there's a lot of noise outside of the court when it comes to X and Instagram and all these different avenues now where fans can reach out to you, can be in your consciousness. That can really rattle somebody. But for her, it seems like she's in a really good spot as a person and as a player.
We heard Danny talk about that too. A lot of times when you are really, really good, your first 2 years, going into your junior season, players might have a tendency to pull back a little bit, maybe coast, not be as motivated and hungry. But for both Harper and Andy, it seems like that has not been the case at all. They've been as much driven as they ever have been here going into their junior season. And that, despite the amount of success that they've had, they are, again, I talked to Andy today, there are so many ways that she's like, I still want to get better. I want to do all these things. And so I think that speaks volumes too, just to these players that they are balancing, but hey, they have absolutely made getting better a huge priority and have not taken any time off in that regard.
Now, we think of the players, but how about the coach? You talked to her this week, and you imagine what she's feeling. Danny Busboom Kelly, now as the head coach of a place that she played, was an assistant coach, taking over for a legend. There's so much around her first match, and it being against the opponent that it is. You wonder what's going through her mind as she gets set to take over here officially in the regular season. Interesting.
It's going to be fun. I mean, look, I think just to your point about just the anticipation, I think that's part of it too, is the Danny Westboom-Kelly era. It just a lot of excitement. I cannot wait. We heard Lauren Cook-West say it on the broadcast the other day. Look, I'm done with these scrimmages. Let's just play a match. I think that's how we feel with both volleyball and football, but we're going to actually get a match tomorrow, and so we'll have it for you here on the Huskers Radio Network. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. We've got our pick segment coming up, our very first pick segment of the year here in just a few minutes. But I did want to go back. We had a couple of questions roll in on the text line during Coach Rule's hour that we didn't quite get to. One of the questions was about how many players are going to travel down to Cincinnati. And a cool thing about this in the non-conference, so with the Big Ten, you are restricted. You can only have 74 in your travel party. But with this one, there's no limits. And so I think they're going to try to figure out a way to get the entire roster down there for this one. So that will be a really cool experience for outside of just your normal travel party for the whole team to get to be a part of this one.
Everybody gets to experience it, and should be, a body in every single seat there at Arrowhead Stadium. So it's going to be a unique environment. And like you said, everybody that's been grinding it out now through the entire fall and spring, they'll get an opportunity to be a part of that first game. And you could sense Coach Rule, they're going through their mock game here in about 40 minutes, so they'll run through all their pregame warm-ups and everything that they have to do in a game day, because like Coach had said, there's a lot of newcomers, like there is in a lot of these rosters that don't know what the pregame ritual is for Nebraska. So tonight is a big part of learning what that game day is going to look like.
All right, the Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. You ready to make some picks for the first time?
I'm ready, and I'm looking to win it all. The big dog, I know, talks a big game. I know the interns had won it last year. I'm coming for the crown.
We'll see. We'll see how you get off to a good start. So that's coming up next. Also, we'll have the joke of the week.
You tried to kill it, but folks, I did everything I could, and I brought it back from the depths of despair.
I'm very easily manipulated, I guess. So joke of the week is back again this week. So still lots to come here on Sports Nightly. Keep it here.
When you buy a Subaru, you're buying more than a vehicle. You're buying safety for your family, an investment that will hold its value, and something that will last a long, long time. In fewer words, you're buying trust. And for a limited time, you can celebrate with special offers during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through September 2nd. Get special low rates on select new Subaru vehicles now through September 2nd. Visit Duto Subaru in Lincoln and online at dutosubaru.com.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
This summer, step into elevated luxury at Woodhouse Lincoln. Right now, during the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event, you'll receive 0% APR for up to 48 months on all 2025 Lincoln Nautilus inventory, plus an available 90-day deferred first payment and a 2-year 25,000 miles premium maintenance plan included. Browse our inventory in-store or online today. Woodhouse Lincoln, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer. With approved credit, must finance with Lincoln Automotive Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires August 31st, 2025. See dealer for details.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together. And then it clicked.
Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Well, it is time for our very first pick segment of the 2025 football season. I'm Jessica Coody, and the gang is all here. The big dog, Jeremiah Searles, is here. Kyle Crooks going to be participating for the very first time. And Camden Cone, who is representing for the interns. They were the reigning champs. Camden's up here wearing the crown for this one because they finished first. Recap of last season, by the way. So it was neck and neck between me and the students going into the last week of the season. I went all in to try to win. Didn't quite go my way, so I finished second. Greg ended up in third, and it was a battle down the stretch to see who would finish last place. Searles, you just etched out Josh, so you are fourth. You are the runner-up to the last place, and Josh comes in bringing up the rear. So we're going to need you to pick it up this year. We say it every year, Searles. When are you going to get better at this?
I had a good middle run, and then I just fell apart in the end. I mean, I was good through like week 8.
And you were talking so much trash.
Week 8, I was leading the standings, and then I just crumbled. Yeah. I just absolutely crumbled. I was like the 2019 Huskers. It was bad.
You're supposed to peak at the end, Searles.
Yeah, I know. We need to have strong Novembers.
You know what my approach is? I'm steady Eddie. Right, so I'm going to start out. You're going to have some hiccups along the way. That's how this works. It's a long season. What I like to say, guys, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm going to treat this as, I'm going to be the marathon winner when it's all said and done. And that crown I'm staring at right now, I may not be a big dog, but I'm going to be the big winner when it's all done.
No. See, rookies can't win. Sorry, Kyle, you're a rookie. Rookies can't win.
I won.
We will band together.
I won
as
3 years in a row and I need that crown back. So I'm actually coming for it this year.
Hey,
all right, Searles, we also have a joke of the week segment that we like to do, and in fact, the guys on the chat, Shane in particular, said the joke of the week this week is your picks.
Oh well, Shane will never say that to my face, so suck it, Shane.
All right. Well, again, our college football picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. We appreciate them sponsoring this segment once again. Let's get rolling. And I, again, rookie at this, at trying to drive this thing. But Greg, I think, like to go in the order of the times for this week because we only have 5. I'm going to go in the order of worst games to best games in terms of the spread. So let's start with Idaho State at UNLV in Vegas. Camden, you're the reigning champ. So you got your picks. You're going to be picking solo, and then you've also got the intern picks.
Yes, so I got both, and we are both going with UNLV.
All right. Kyle, we'll let you go next.
UNLV. So I know Dan Mullen well. I actually, interviewed him a bunch when I was at Florida. He was somebody who I think he's a really good play caller. Some people actually have UNLV, not me, in the college football playoff picture when it's all said and done as that 12th team. It sounds absurd, right? But, this is a 26-point spread, so I can go on and on about Dan Mullen, but we're picking this straight up, so give me UNLV. That game is at Allegiant Stadium, by the way. That is in an NFL stadium. So that's an extra 10 points you can add on to the spread, probably.
Searles, what you got?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue with the fact that Idaho State's, they're toast. So
all right.
UNLV.
I got
Rebs.
UNLV as well. All right, let's go up next. Fresno State at Kansas. Can the big donation carry over here for the season opener for the Jayhawks? They're going to run away with this one. Kyle, you're up next.
This is what we call a stadium game. If you're somebody, you're looking at the board right now, you're saying, okay, they're opening up this not brand new stadium, but newly renovated stadium. They got off to a hot start last year, or got off to actually a slow start, but finished well last year. So I'll have them to pick out the momentum of how they finished last season, had a very good season on the ground. They're a 12.5-point favorite in this game, so that's another one of those no-brainer heads up. I'm going with the Rock Chalk Jayhawk, as they say.
Yeah, again, these games are kind of, in my opinion, a little bit of a coin flip at the beginning of the year, and so I kind of lean more towards who I think has more talent in weeks 1 or 2, and I think Kansas, again, they brought back some good studs. They finished strong, like Kyle said, so I'm going to go Rock Chalk as well.
I've got Kansas. Josh has Kansas. Clean sweep?
Yep, for both.
All right. Up next, Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers. They are favored by 10 in this one. Searles, you're up first.
Yeah, these early games, just give me the Hilltoppers. I'm going to go with the favorites. I can't start out in the hole like I have, where you want to reach sometimes and be different from the rest of the crew, but give me the Hilltoppers.
I'm going with you. Not going out on a limb on this one. Neither is Josh.
Camden should.
Not on this one. I got Western Kentucky, and so does David, the intern, picking this week.
So I'll give you a name to remember. Maverick McIver. Now, I'm not sure if that's how we say his last name, but we're going to say that for now. He was at Abilene Christian, so he transfers over 8,000 career passing yards, 63 passing touchdowns as ACU, as they call it. Give me the Hilltoppers in a big win to start it out in week 0.
This is so boring already. I'm
juicing this thing up.
Through 3 games, we've all had
give me that crown. I just feel the crown next to me. Jeremiah, I could feel the aura of it, and it's just firing me up. I want that thing.
I think all of us are just a little nervous to go out. It'll get more spicy, but none of us want to start out in the hole, right? Like, none of us want to come out of week 0 like, oh, I went 2-3 this week. Like, nobody wants that.
Well, especially with double-digit spreads there in those first 3 games. But it's about to get maybe a little interesting here with the final 2 games. Let's move on to Stanford at Hawaii, 6:30 on CBS. How about that? I'm up first in this one. I actually am going to mix it up a little bit here, and I'm going to go with Stanford. Hawaii's favored by just, 2 points in this one, but I'm going to go with Stanford. I'm going to go with the road team, and Josh is rolling with the home team, Hawaii.
I got Hawaii, but the interns pick Stanford.
All right.
Is it me?
Kyle, you're up.
Nothing says college football on CBS like Stanford and Hawaii, 2:30. Let's kick it off. I'm a Colts fan. Frank Reich is the interim head coach. Andrew Luck is their general manager. If I picked against Stanford, I'd be crazy. Give me the Cardinal.
Yeah, I'm with you. Andrew Luck, Frank Reich. I played for Frank. I think Andrew is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when he was in his time. I think he's going to have that program built, disciplined. He's going to have the right people around it, right? And you have NFL personnel in there. I'm going with the Cardinal as well.
All right. I thought maybe we'd be a little bit more split. Are you the only one that went with Hawaii?
I thought you said Josh.
Josh went with Hawaii. All right. And how about this one? In Ireland, Searles, does that bring back great memories for you? Iowa State at Kansas State, but I believe we're back to Camden for this one in the Aer Lingus College Football Classic.
All right. I went back and forth. You really never know, like Searles has said in the first game, especially on a neutral site across the ocean. But I'm going to go with Iowa State, and that is who the interns are going with as well.
When in Ireland, avoid onside kicks. That's what we've learned here. Iowa State, Kansas State. Iowa State has owned this rivalry lately. They've won 4 of the last 5, but give me Kansas State. I think Kansas State is one of those teams that could make a playoff push. This will be, 2 of the top teams in the Big 12. Great way to start it. Give me Kansas State straight up in Dublin.
I'm very curious to see what this Iowa State offense is going to look like, right? They lost Higgins, they lost Knoll, but I was at the Iowa State Pro Day, and I can't think of his name right now, but that quarterback, he can spin it. He can throw it. He had NFL scouts drooling at that Pro Day going, hey, this dude's going to be there in a little bit. That being said, he lost his 2 best weapons. I think I'm going to have to go with the Wildcats as we head into Iowa here.
That was nice.
More sound
Did you
effects.
record that?
I heard it. I
Did
heard
you record that in stadium?
far too many times in my career. And
right.
Kansas State's, they abuse it too. They're like, oh, 3-yard tackle. It's like, oh my gosh, we don't need to do this every single time, my friends.
All right, so you got the Wildcats. Josh also has the Wildcats. I'm rolling with the Cyclones. I'm going to go with Iowa State as well.
Nice,
So we were a little bit split there in those last 2 picks.
It's a good L for you. It's a nice L for you.
So there's some division here, is what we're saying.
In the last two picks, last 2 games,
Okay.
we have a little bit of separation there. So we'll see.
Look, week 0, you got to set the table here. When you're running a marathon, you need that first mile to have some good juice to it, good flow, build up the adrenaline. I'll tell you what, my adrenaline's pumping.
Not necessarily if you're Searles, because he came out of the gate hot last year, and it didn't bode well for him. So I don't know.
No, I came out of the gate well last year. I came out hot, but I struggled. See, I did the opposite of what Kyle did. I'm a sprinter, right? I'm a short area distance guy. I'm not the marathon thing. I don't know why people spend money ever.
For the record, what'd you run the 40 in, Searles?
5.2.
For the YouTube audience, Searles, can we get like a little pass block, a mimic pass block in your
Kyle
in
loved
chair?
your when you were kind of going through the drills with the guys at practice the other day.
I love that.
I mean, dude,
the feet shuffling.
I can't
with the
help
hands.
myself. You put me on a football field, I'm going to kick set somewhere. I'm just gonna
He's
get real
ready to
twitchy.
go.
I'm going to get real twitchy all of a sudden.
Sign him up.
All right. Well, good stuff. Again, this is just a small sampling here to kick this off. We will get rolling with the next week. Big week next week as well. But again, our Choices Treatment Center picks, our college football picks brought to you by Choices Treatment Center. If you or someone you know is struggling with problem gambling, free treatment is available in Nebraska. Call Choices 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300 for more information. Offices in Lincoln and Columbus. All right, big dog. We're seeing a lot more of you these days.
I can't wait. I'm taking that crown. We'll band together, not let the rookie have it. Nothing against you, Kyle. But
I just can't wait to listen to
I don't
Big
love
Red
rookies.
Reaction.
They're just, Big Red Reaction is going to be.
That's what I need. I need the big
don't
dog
worry.
to bark on
trust me.
Big Red
Drunk
Reaction.
Billy
with
from
Coatney.
Seward doesn't know what's coming.
Coatney's not going to be able to handle you. I'll tell you that.
He'll try. Coatney's tried for years, but he will fail.
All right, good stuff. We got to get to a break, but we're back with more from Sports Nightly coming up after this.
Go Big Red.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long!
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that! What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
Not All Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See shelter agents Jeff Bond or Reed Duvall in Lincoln, or Agent Victoria Watkins in Nebraska City.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Got a couple segments left here. I'm Jessica Coody with Kyle Crooks. And Kyle, listen, I will admit when I am wrong, all right? When it's proven to me that I've said something off base, that I will correct that and right that wrong. And I was making fun of the students and Henry, and that Henry was not a good picker, and I have been proven wrong. And so I am here to apologize, to go on my apology tour and apologize to Henry for saying that he was a bad picker, because statistically, his plus minus, actually, he was number one in the intern bunch. So I apologize, Henry.
So you threw Henry under the bus.
I did.
Join the club, Henry.
I knew somebody was bad. It was Duke, not Henry. So Duke was the bad intern, not Henry.
She's thrown a few of us under the bus these last few weeks, and then she's put it in reverse. So I'm glad that you're on this apology tour. We all appreciate the apology. On behalf of everybody here at the Husker Radio Network, we accept your apology, but we're still angry and upset.
Well, listen, so they did a plus minus. And so Duke was -5, David was -3, Camden was -3, and Henry was 0. So he actually performed the best against the best. Josh had this whole breakdown of the statistics, all that. So Henry actually, his stats were, he was the best performer, and so I apologize to Henry for throwing him under the bus last night.
In this case, it's a positive to be a 0.
So.
You hear the laugh in the back?
Yes.
I got
Is that the joke of the week? We do have joke of the week coming.
You know what? And I think that's the way to retire it. And so I think that's the way we end it right there. Done.
Before we move on too far from picks, I did want to give a huge shout out. So if you're listening in, and the guys on the chat play along every single week with our picks. So we'll pass along the picks early in the week. They also give their picks, and then they track their wins and losses as well. So want to give a shout out to last year's chat winners. Dr. J. Shane, who is our high choose provider, was the champion of the chat picks. Joseph was number 2. So congratulations to those guys. And if you want to be a part, just, hop on there on the YouTube chat, and you can play with us, play along every single week. It's
okay.
Pretty fun.
I love it. Competitive chat.
Competitive chat. The other newsworthy kind of thing that I promised that we'd hit on is the Cornhusker Crusher. So I don't know if you guys, am I on here? If you can see this can here. We sampled it, and it is a little bit, I guess, Blue Moonish. You're not a beer guy. But shout out to Akrs Broadcast, who is in charge of the corn crib. He designed this label with Herbie on it. So these are one of the beers they're going to be able to get in the stadium. So we sampled it around here in the studio, and everybody seemed to really like it.
Yeah, they came by my office the other day, and they showed me the cans. That's just such a really cool design. It goes back to our conversation yesterday. I really love Herbie, and I need some Herbie-designed clothing here.
Herbie's all the rage this year.
But that's such a really cool design, so well done, Alex.
This is the official craft beer of the Huskers. It's a citrus wheat ale. So shout out Akrs Broadcast for the logo on the can. So.
There'll be a few of those that will be crushed here this season at Memorial Stadium.
Nice.
You got to crush it when you're done with it. You got to squeeze it and crush it.
Yes, as was in the photos that they posted. So Cornhusker Crusher, if you're a Blue Moon fan, or what's another like orange type beer? You're not a beer guy, so
yeah, you're asking the wrong
Boulevard,
guy.
maybe a Boulevard Wheat with the orange. I don't know.
You guys aren't old enough to drink alcohol over there, so you're asking the wrong.
They're all graduates, so they are too. But yeah, so if you're a fan of like the Blue Moon type beer, you'll probably like this beer. So there you go. All right, we are going to quickly continue our position previews for Cincinnati here tonight. Going to talk some linebackers and secondary. So what do you have for us?
Yeah, so we'll make this quick. I know we got to move here in this hour, but a really good group in the linebacking area. I know I told you yesterday the defense is an improved unit. I think they feel like they have their best personnel. The area where they replace the most of their production is in the secondary, so they have 3 safeties that went to the draft. They only have one of their 5 starting defensive backs that returned, 4 that were added through the portal. Their top 2 corners left via the transfer portal. Their biggest additions, one of the great names in football history, Matthew McDoom, is their starting cornerback. He's a former Chanticleer of Coastal Carolina, a senior. At the other corner, it's a well-traveled guy, another 7th-year guy. We talk about Javen Wright. Logan Wilson, who's a character. He got one more year of eligibility as part of, I believe it was that junior college ruling that we saw with Deshaun Singleton as well that allowed him an extra year of eligibility. Christian Harrison comes over from the SEC in Tennessee. Taden Barnes, also a transfer from New Mexico State. So they feel like that's probably one of their strong suits. And then at the linebacking core, they have 3 really solid players. Jack Dingle, 5th-year player. He started all 12 games last year. Jonathan Thompson as well at the middle linebacker position. Another one of those guys that was, somebody who produced. He was 4th on the team in tackles. And then Jake Golday is probably the biggest name. He's going to be the leader probably of the defense, top returning tackler, all Big 12 honorable mention last year, 8 starts, another 5th-year linebacker. So linebacker and secondary, the 2nd and 3rd levels of this defense, they're returning a lot. Now the depth, I'm not quite sure about the depth as you dig a little bit deeper into their roster, but their top guys are really good.
Okay, so we're going to hold special teams to Monday, but just in terms of matchup, now that we've dove into all of these, where do you rank maybe the Husker wide receivers for Cincinnati defensive backs, that kind of matchup on maybe what could look good on paper for the Huskers?
Yeah, I would say that Nebraska wins that matchup. There's a little bit of unknown on both sides, right? Because you have Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter. You have a true freshman in Cortez Mills. Does Quentin Clark play a role? There's some guys that are going to play a role that weren't a part of the offense last year. And then you look at, okay, there's a lot of newcomers on the Cincinnati side, so it's a little bit of unknown against unknown. But in terms of talent, you give the edge to the Nebraska wide receivers and tight ends.
I also feel like that in terms of what Nebraska has faced every single day in practice, the secondary guys, that there's a lot of experience back there. And I know we're switching a little bit, but got to think that Nebraska's wide receivers are probably better for this secondary, right? I mean, so when we talk about maybe things getting easier on game day, not that anything's easy, but the guys that the secondary for Nebraska, what they've been facing every single day in practice, I don't know if Cincinnati has the kind of wide receivers. So for the Nebraska secondary, I feel like they're going to be well prepared to match up.
Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about is iron sharpening iron. That's what we've mentioned before, and this is the third year of Matt Rule. This is his best roster. So you're having the most competitive fall camp, and that's the case. You have the best wide receiving core against the best secondary that we've had in Nebraska in the last handful of years. And this defense has been really good also, too. Like, let's not lose focus on that. The first 2 years under Matt Rule, this defense has been really good. I think the secondary is well-positioned to have a great year, including this wide receiving core, because of that, like you said, that competition in fall camp is pretty fierce.
Your future deserves a winning game plan. Stonebridge Wealth Systems 5-Step Retirement Compass delivers holistic financial planning with strategy. Find us on radio, TV, or YouTube, or visit StonebridgeIWM.com. All right, so wanted to save some time because Camden Cone has stepped up to the plate tonight to deliver this week's Joke of the Week.
Better deliver, because if you don't, it's all over. Because Jessica's getting ready to put the shovel
Kyle
over its head.
thinks that he's had the best week. So
Is that even up for debate? I even delivered Joke of the Week just through improv earlier.
What was that?
The zero comment.
Oh.
It pays. In that case, it's good to be a zero. See, I just Joke of the Week just kind of, that's how my brain is created through Joke of the Week.
I don't know about that, but we'll see how Camden does. So Camden hasn't done it this summer, I don't believe. He's done it in the past, but not this summer, not this season.
And remember, he gave me the lowest score out of everybody on my Joke of the Week.
You kind of deserved it a little bit.
Okay. This is what we call backing up the bus. She's already driven over me, and now she's putting it in reverse.
It's calling me being Team Camden.
It's not nice.
So
it's not nice.
I'm trying to support Camden. He's done a lot for us. So anyways, so Camden will be up in the hot seats tonight for Joke of the Week. So we're going to step aside for a break. Keep it here for Joke of the Week.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda during the Mazda More to Move You sales event. Receive 1.9% APR for 60 months on the full lineup of 2025 Mazda CX-50s and Mazda CX-50 hybrids, plus no payments for 90 days. Visit us in Bellevue or off 144th and Giles Road today. With approved credit, tax title license extra. When financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/2/25. See dealer for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Stonebridge Wealth Systems, local experienced advisors leading you with their 5-step retirement compass. Catch us on radio, TV, or YouTube, planning with integrity, care, and a winning strategy. Stonebridge. Welcome back. Final segment here of Sports Nightly on this Thursday evening, our final segment of the week, as we'll have volleyball on the air tonight. I also forgot to mention that Nick Hanley's also going to be playing along with us in our picks every week. So he's going to be filling in for Kyle and me sometimes when need be. In fact, he'll be here on Wednesday night before the Thursday night kickoff, filling in for us as we'll be traveling down, trying to get the booth set up, all of that. So Nick, you also, for those listening in, if you're on the chat, and all of us here will be competing against Nick as well. So we'll see how he does. First-time competitor as well. So you and Nick are the rookies this week.
The newcomers got to get it done.
Okay, so it is time for Joke of the Week, and Camden is up in the hot seat this week.
It's been a while since I've done it, but it's probably a good thing we only have 4 minutes. All right, here we go. So a buddy of mine lost 3 of his fingers in a work accident, and so he told me that he asked his doctor if he could still drive with his injured hand, and he said probably, but I wouldn't count on it.
Not bad.
I like it.
Not bad.
I like it. You didn't have to repeat it for me, so
that was the key.
I think it's pretty solid. Okay, so again, we don't have a break to go to, so get those rankings in now if you want us to read it on the air. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. While we are waiting for the responses, Camden, you got an update on Husker soccer?
Yeah, there's about 4 minutes left in the first half, scoreless between Nebraska and Oklahoma State. Both teams have had some decent looks at goal, but each have been saved by the goalkeepers, so still
when
scoreless.
When did you become the resident soccer expert?
When he became a hooligan.
That's what I was going to say, when I became a hooligan, I guess.
Have, totally.
He's a Husker hooligan, through and through.
Okay. I mean, Art still is wondering why we don't like bees.
There's only so many bee jokes.
So is it the letter B or like the
animal?
The buzzing bees.
Is it considered an animal, or is it, are we talking?
Insect.
Insect, okay.
Animal still.
He'll just have to let it be. So it says Art. So the joke ranking is a 9. Camden is great. A little bit a roller coaster here on the text line. 5.5 from Dennis. 9.9 from Rudy, though. So.
Okay. I'll take Rudy.
All right.
I think Rudy needs to adjust the scoring. You ask me.
What do you got then?
I'll give it a solid. What'd you give me?
I think a 9.8, right?
No.
I think I gave you 7.5.
I'll give you a 7.5.
Okay. I'll take it.
Crypto King said he's giving Camden a perfect 10 because he is in the presence of Kyle Crooks.
Yeah, you know what? Now we're talking.
I also see maybe Kyle can learn from Camden.
Are you just inventing?
No,
chats?
Bruce.
Oh, Bruce.
Wow.
Bruce also gives you a 10. 4 Hours to Lincoln says he gives you a 9. His face cracked me up after making the joke.
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Dryce gives you a
part of the joke, right?
Dryce gives you a 7. Husker and Hanover, great delivery. Dumb but funny joke. So solid 9 there. So Jim Briggs gives you a 5.
Jim Briggs didn't write you a song.
E gives you a solid 8. And Michael gives you A for effort, a solid 8. So
I'll take it. I feel like that's pretty good.
Really good. That's good scores for you.
I'll take it.
I always say if it's like averaging a 7, that's pretty good. So I think you're over a 7.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
good.
a little rusty.
It's good. If you're into bronze medals, it's good.
Kyle's
I'll take a
mad
bronze
because Camden's scores are better than Kyle's.
What do David and Henry get, though? David, Henry, what are your scores?
Okay, so wait, they're not on the microphone, so...
Well, if we're talking average scores, I don't know. I wasn't getting a lot of 5s. That's just me, though.
I think they're low scores coming in, so I think we could just assume that they're sub-5.
You got the approval from Henry, so if he doesn't give you a 8,
Okay.
That's a pretty good.
I'll give you an 8 as well. I will respect that, though. I will.
All right.
That is true.
Andy gives you a 9.5.
I guess we're done with it now.
So thanks, everybody. We got a full house here tonight. Josh and Russ were in earlier. We've got David, Henry, and Camden, Kyle. Thanks, Coach Rule. So, again, that's going to do it for us here of the week. We'll be back 2 hours on Monday night, and it's
Game
Kyle.
Week.
Game
Let's do it.
Week.
I can't wait.
We'll have 3 shows for you coming up next week before we kick this thing off a week from tonight. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah,
prize is...
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing! I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Mike Shepard or Craig Kerr in Lincoln, or Agent Jeff Martinez in Omaha today.
Experience exceptional quality and lasting value at Woodhouse Toyota. Lease the 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid XLE forward-wheel drive for $250 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at WoodhouseToyota.com. Woodhouse Toyota. Let's go places. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. Security deposit waived. $24.99 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GT2502.